going on, guys? We are back here with another video this week, and today we are going to be talking about how we can best prepare ourselves for Agent Coulson. So by now it's already been a few weeks into the recurring milestones, and now a few people in our alliances have gotten him unlocked, and there's been quite a few as well in the online, on Discord, and all that good stuff. So with him being unlocked, it's good to talk about what we can best prepare ourselves for after we have him unlocked. And right off the bat here, you want to make sure when you guys have them unlocked, you want to make sure you have your crafting materials all ready to go here. So as you can see there, these are the amount of materials you need for either tier 8, tier 9, tier 10, and so forth. And again, with Agent Coulson, you'll need lots of your tech. You'll need lots of catalysts, and as well as all the other stuff, the ABCs, the alpha basic catalysts. And then obviously the hammer tech purples as well, and all that good stuff. And again, just have those all farmed up and ready to go, so that way when you do have those materials ready to go, you'll be easily to get them tiered up and farmed up, and that way you can put them into Alliance War right off the bat and get them going there. And again, with your orange materials as well, just make sure you guys have enough materials, because again, we'll go over his abilities, but there are some really good ones, and definitely game changing for sure. So you definitely want to save a few. And again, with those orange T4 ability mats, we do only have a limited ways to get them, so that's why you want to make sure you can start saving a few now, especially if you're getting close to getting Agent Coulson unlocked. So for sure, save a few of those. And then with his T13, if you want to push him into his tier 13, you got to get his unique materials as well. And with that, you'll need the shield hammer techs. And again, just keeping an eye on those in the store as well. If they pop up, if they if they're in the war store as well, just make sure you guys are saving up some credits for those, or some gold for that, so that way you can get them up to 13, and then get them all ready to go for war. Now let's take a look at the teams. So again, with Agent Coulson's arrival, it has been very nice, because he's basically bringing back life back into some of the Avenger teams. And I mean, these guys used to be pretty much the first meta that Marvel Strike Force had when the game was first launched, and these guys, they've definitely fallen off the rails with the introduction of Defenders. With new teams like the Brawlers and the Techs, and then the Guardians as well, and these guys get kind of just slowly dwindled away. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're still a fairly decent team if you pair them right, and if you're using them on Alliance War. They are fairly good. Black Widow and Quake, they do very well together. Same with Captain America. But again, they've definitely lost some of that steam that they had initially when they're pretty much the first meta team in the game, and everyone was going for Captain America and Black Widow and farming them like crazy, and same with Quake. But again, with Agent Coulson's arrival, that has been a very nice, because now we can basically start putting these guys back to good use. If we're talking about Agent Coulson, we also got to talk about the shield teams with the minions, so Nick Fury and the minions. So again, with this, that makes 11 characters now, so that means in theory we can have 2 very solid defensive shield-based teams. So again, let's talk about what we can do with those teams. So with any of those shield teams, especially with Agent Coulson, we're going to need to have Medic with Agent Coulson, because A, she's going to keep him alive. B, they're literally in each other's abilities, so you got to have them paired together. So with that means with Nick Fury, he's going to lose 1 minion, which works out now, because now if we look at it this way, it basically means that Nick Fury, now you've got basically him and the 4 minions, which works out great. That's everyone's always been kind of perplexed and confused. Who do I want as the last and final shield minion? So in the past, people have swapped out Operative for Trooper, or they've swapped out Medic for Operative, or they just went with whoever they had as a higher red star. So that also worked as well. But now in this case, now you still have a solid shield team with Nick Fury, and then the 4 minions as well, because that's how basically, if you want him to be the most effective, his heals and his buffs basically get transferred to the minions, which is which is what you want, which is great. And now you've got another offensive team you can use against, for example, Avengers. Shield's also very good against defenders. Shield's also very good against their own shield teams. And then there's also brawlers as well. So these guys are a very good team. And that's not to say they're not good on defense as well. These guys are a pretty good team. And if you slap them on defense, the opposing teams will most likely have to use a Brotherhood or some sort of Minute Guardian or something like that. And again, you're basically burning up one of their metas. So again, it's a very, very good. And now let's talk about Agent Coulson. So we know we've got him and we got Shield Medic together, which is great. But now we've got 4 Avengers. So again, these guys also have the Shield tag as well. But again, we've got 4 Avengers, and you want to figure out, who's the best to use with these guys. So I think with for sure you got to have Agent Coulson and Medic in there. That's a given. And next off, I mean, out of the 4 characters there, you definitely want Black Widow in there because she provides that speed up, she provides a stun, she also provides a very nice debuff for Avenger and Shield allies. So again, basically more debuffs, and especially with this team, you want to make sure they don't have any debuffs because these guys are going to be stacked on buffs already. So again, she just basically helps amplify that role. And because of that speed up, you got to have Quake in there now as well because of the fact that she also has a slow, and that basically makes, well, from your standpoint, I mean, it makes your team go even faster. And with the opponent's team, though, they're slowed, and then you've got speed up. It almost, some characters, if you've got Hulk on the opposing team, you'll be able to take 2 turns before he even moves once. So again, very, very good. And then that leaves the last piece, which is obviously, if anyone had to pick either Captain America or Hawkeye, more than not, you're going to get Captain America in that. Plus, he also adds that extra defense up, that extra tank factor. Not to mention, he's also an energy provider as well. He basically inspires, his ability inspires, and then he provides energy to Shield/Avenger allies, and then non-random allies as well. But again, if you've got it tiered up and ranked the highest, he provides up to 2 energy and plus more to his allies. So again, those are the teams that we're looking at now, and those are very solid teams. Alternatively, I mean, you can also swap Captain America with Shield security. That's something that I might do because, again, if we're trying to keep Coulson alive, I think it's in his best interest to have another taunt there. And I mean, there's a whole bunch of combinations you can go with here. But again, I mean, you could be really defensive and put Captain America and Shield security, and then maybe slap in maybe even Shield Trooper in there so he hits all the targets when they attack. But again, if you put too many Shield minions away from Nick Fury, then he kind of loses his, he loses his effectiveness. And again, with Avenger allies and Shield allies, I mean, Avenger allies will perform better when they're among their Avengers as well. So again, Captain America and Black Widow should be together, and vice versa. Like, if you want to have Shield security there, I think it's going to add an extra dimension of basically defensiveness to your alliance war, because he's going to protect Coulson even more, especially if he drops below 50. And then it's just going to get so annoying because Shield Medic's going to heal him, and then you're basically back around circling the guys again. So again, that might be something you guys are interested in, but for sure, there's definitely going to be a bunch of combinations, and I'm sure there's going to be probably some theory crafting and all this good stuff on it. But for sure, I think for now, sticking with these 2 teams is solid as well, just with a Shield minion team. And again, everyone's had this sort of combination already, so that doesn't change much. And then Agent Coulson with the Avengers, which is going to be really awesome. And now we're going to jump in the game here so we can talk about his abilities. Alright guys, so we are back, and again, like I said, with the milestones, make sure you're getting the most out of your value. And again, I've been doing the 1 million milestone, up to 1 million spending, so it unlocks up to 10. And again, that basically gives me all the nice power cores along the way. And just at the pace I'm going, it guarantees me at least 4 Coulson shards a day, plus the ones you might get from the other milestones, either your Alliance or the Save the World one. And again, I've been hitting for this one. I've been hitting 14 or 15, depending on where the reset falls on. But it's been pretty solid. And again, those will get you those extra Coulson shards. And at the end of the day, just make sure when you guys are aiming for those milestones. From how my standpoint is, I mean, I've got 122 right now, so that's a little bit more than halfway, which is okay. But just with the way I've ran on my spreadsheets, at the pace I'm going, this will leave me some good amount of shards as well, and I should be able to get them up to 6 stars like that. Again, 7 stars like impossible unless you're like a whale or something, but based on the math that I did, we should be able to get them up to 6 stars, which is great before the event ends. And again, if you've once you get Coulson up there and unlocked, you want to make sure you also have enough gold. So I noticed that with some of my alliance mates, they were spending the 2 point whatever million a day, and again, they were just drained. By the time they had them unlocked, they couldn't even level them up because they had no money to use on them. But with the pace that I'm going at, if I'm spending 1 million and it maximizes my power cores, I still have ample gold to use for the next day. And again, that way, when you do have him unlocked, he's ready to go. And speaking of which, his abilities, his first one, Night Gun, again, you know, it's nothing to brag about, just, you know, normal attacks, chains, that sort of thing. And the nice thing here is once you do have it leveled high enough, I mean, level 6 is pretty decent, but 20% speed bar to primary and secondary targets, which is really handy, especially with a turn-based game. So that's really nice. His EMP punch, this is a really great one, and this is definitely one I would recommend you guys have it upgraded up to the highest tier. But again, attacking the primary target for a decent amount of damage, and then on ward defense, transferring 1 positive from the primary target to all non-shield allies. So again, we have the medic there, which is fine, but having non-shield minions is going to benefit Coulson more. So again, this is going to go to Coulson, and this is also going to go to the Avengers. So again, Captain America, Black Widow, and then, you know, for example, if you have either, you know, Hawkeye, or you know, if you have Quake in there as well, it's going to transfer over to them. And then having it all maxed out, you get 4 positives to the primary. And again, this one will remove all positives from all enemies, which in especially in Alliance Wars, if you're up against a team that's got deflect and they've got a whole bunch of buffs, like in Cargo Bay, that's going to come in really, really handy. So again, that's going to be really great, especially for that. Next one is Teamwork. This is his ult, and again, clearing 1 positive from the enemy with the most damage. That's pretty awesome. More than not, if an Ultron team is attacking, this is going to be really, really great, because he will usually do the most damage, and this will just strip him of all his buffs. And again, if we level it all the way to the max, clear all positives from the enemy with the most damage. Call 2 allies with the most damage to attack the enemy. So again, really, really good ult, because even if you have it up to this one's not bad, because it, you know, this even level 6, I mean, you apply defense down and taunt, that's great, but this one just clears all the positives. So again, you do the damage, and then you also clear all the positives. And more than not, if it's the two allies with the most damage, one of them is most likely going to be Black Widow, and the other one might be Coulson, because Quake doesn't actually do that much damage, and Captain America's stats aren't that great either in terms of offense. But again, that's most likely going to be Coulson and Black Widow, maybe, or well, I guess with 2 allies. Never mind. It's going to either be, it's not going to be Coulson. It's either going to be Black Widow, or it's going to most likely be Captain America or Quake, depending on who does more damage between the 2 of them. And who knows, if you've got them either red stars as well, that's going to change. This one is another one I would definitely put my ability mats in. And again, it's basically, if he drops below 50% health, change speed bar for shield medic. So basically, she comes rescuing him. And again, in a more defense, more health, more immunity to shield allies, and again with that tag, shield allies, and then resistance, which is going to be amazing, especially if you're starting with a defensive lineup of these guys and they've got a whole bunch of buffs, and you know, if the opposing team's got either if they've got either, you know, Vision or some sort of team like Fantastic Four, they're going to try their best to try to take off all your buffs. So again, with the extra resistance, extra immunity, that's going to come in really, really handy. And if we get it up to the max level here, this gives them not only the you know, they have already the 10% speed bar, but this actually jumps their health up by another 15%. So they've got 20% max health, they've got 20% resistance, and again, that's going to come in really handy in resisting those debuffs, and also retaining their buffs as well. So again, on spawn, apply immunity to all shield allies. So this is going to be amazing. You won't be able to, if you're using Magneto, you won't even be able to blind everyone. So again, they're immune. So again, this is going to be a crazy team, guys. So what am I saying? I am saying you should be like saving up like all your orange ability mats. I mean, I've got about 394 right now, and I'm hoping to get at least the you know, each one costs 200. Let's see here. This one's 200. This one's 240, so that's 440, and then this one's 220, so that comes out to about 660. So I only need another, I still need about another 200ish or so. But again, having that right off the get-go, and then once you get them leveled up, that's going to come in so handy. And then that's going to be, I think, the difference here. It's everyone's racing to get them right now, but you got to think about the long game, which is also having enough supplies and gold and resources to getting them geared up and tiered as well. And then on top of that, if you're no, that's the wrong one. Let's go to Black Widow. If you're going to Black Widow here, getting that shield tech as well. So just making sure you guys have that ready, so that way you can get them up to 13, and then it's easy. Now, the only reason why I haven't even got her to 13 is because of that very fact. And again, I'm very lucky. I did spend quite a bit of time and resources on Black Widow, so that's why I've got all her abilities maxed. But again, I'm very happy to basically put her into that team, because I think she's going to shine really well, especially with Quake and then with Captain America as well. And again, like I said, having his ability and Inspire, he's going to be able to give energy to his Avenger allies, and then also ability and energy to his random allies as well. But all right, guys. So like I said, save your gold, save your resources, pace yourself on your milestones. Like I said, just kind of pace yourself and kind of keep an eye on how much you're gaining per day, and that way you can kind of pinpoint to how many days are left. I mean, we've got 43 days, which is, I mean, that's still a considerable amount of time. And that's why when I was punching the numbers, it's not about getting them ASAP. It's about the long game, which is, you know, how many stars are you going to be able to get them at? Even if you rush it right now, it's not really a big game-changing fact if you can get them, like if you're one of the first or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people to get them unlocked. The important thing is being able to gear him up, being able to tear him up, and then also getting his T4 abilities up as well. And then once you have him in war, you can have those different team combinations that we talked about today. I think that's all I got to say for now. Other than that, guys, as always, thank you for watching, and happy gaming.